What is going on, guys? How is it going? We finally have Spider-Verse Team Up issue 2. Now, this issue is actually really interesting because since Spider-Verse Team Up issue 1, we had Spider-Man Noir and Six-Armed Spider-Man, and Spider-Man Noir has actually been injured, so he's not even in the Spider-Verse anymore, and Six-Armed Spider-Man actually got murdered in Spider-Man 2099 issue 7, I think it was, or was it issue, I think it was issue 6 actually. Also, this issue is carrying on from the Amazing Spider-Man issue 11, where 616 Peter Parker actually sent Spider-Gwen to go and collect a Peter Parker from a different dimension, and we also saw Miles Morales and Disney XD being teamed up to go and collect another Spider-Man from the 1960s. But before we get into that, I want to announce the winner for the giveaway for Spider-Verse Team Up issue 1. And it is this person on screen now, so congratulations to you, LucasXX Stream. Pretty much, I think your comment just made me laugh a little bit. I don't know why. I think it was just the ending of the comment where you just went, yeah, hopefully Morland will kill Spider-Man. But yeah, nice one for that, good comment, and I will send you the code for your digital copy for Spider-Verse Team Up issue 1 in 24 hours. So yeah, congratulations to you, and I hope you continue to enter the giveaways in the future. And yeah, so guys, don't worry, obviously I've got an Amazing Spider-Man issue 11 giveaway going on right now, so go over there and check that out. But anyway, guys, enough of this babbling on. Without further ado, let's get into this issue. I hope I've already explained enough about the comic for you guys to understand what's going on in this, but yeah, so let's get into it. First off, this is possibly one of the most interesting Spider-Verse tie-in comics so far, especially with the art and everything like that. It seems pretty simple, but the action parts of the comic are actually quite interesting to look at. And we do know that this issue brings us Miles Morales and Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man going to the 60s to recruit Spider-Man 1960s, pretty much. So pretty much the very first Spider-Man cartoon in the 1960s, and it was so simple as well. If I remember the guy's name that actually voiced this in the cartoon, the voice actor was Dan Gilvezan, if I remember correctly. But as you can see, they've actually met, and Spider-Man thinks that Miles Morales and Disney XD's Spider-Man are imposters, and they're just dressing up as Spider-Man, doing all this stupid stuff. And it's really quite interesting because Disney XD actually turns to the reader and starts talking to the reader, just like he talks to the viewer in his TV show. Sorry, I know he choked then. But even, just like the costume designs and stuff like that, and it's, in my opinion, I don't actually think this Spider-Man will survive in the Spider-Verse, to be honest. He seems too friendly, if you know what I mean. But anyway, Electro, Vulture, and Green Goblin show up, and they are all teaming up. Now, as you can see with the art on Miles Morales there on the left, it is just so awesome. There's something about it that is actually quite interesting, but that artwork is only on Miles Morales. Maybe it's because he's the Ultimate Spider-Man, and then Disney XD's Spider-Man goes a little bit more cartoony. But either way, the art is awesome. Now, the villains in the 60s cartoon were kind of dumbed down a bit. They weren't as intellectual as the villains are now. They weren't as, well developed. But that's kind of the humorous side of it. Now, I did actually forget to mention that Scorpion is in this. Now, yes, that Scorpion there was the very first costume design for Scorpion when he was first created. But there's also an invisible guy called, if I remember correctly, that is Noah Body, and I think that's his name anyway, or that was just a joke in the comic that I remember, I'm not entirely sure. But either way, he's invisible or something like that. Now, I am not familiar with that character. Maybe it's just something from the 60s cartoon, because I didn't really watch much of the 60s cartoon, considering it was like 50 years ago. But anyway, moving on. So we have Miles Morales unmasking himself, and they are actually quite shocked to see that he's a kid. He's about 14 years old, maybe nearly 15 if I remember. And Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man also unmasked, and they've pretty much just gone in, told Jameson where they're going, and they are bringing the 60s Spider-Man back to the other dimensions and stuff like that to help fight in the Spider-Verse. So now that is the end of this part of the comic, where there's two stories. That is the end of that, but now we go on to Spider-Gwen. Now, this is also a really interesting dimension that she's actually gone to. She's actually gone to a dimension where Peter Parker never got over the death of Gwen Stacy, and he decided to become the Green Goblin. Well, technically, kind of looks like the Hobgoblin, but red and blue for some reason, but either way, he has many similarities to Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. Obviously, Hobgoblin with the hood and Green Goblin with the glider. Well, actually, I suppose they both have a glider, but the glider is kind of more of a Green Goblin thing in my opinion, and the Hobgoblin kind of just took influence from that. But anyway, Spider-Gwen probably had the most major impact on Peter Parker, so when Gwen revealed her identity to this world's Peter Parker, it just sent him in like a world of emotions. He just couldn't believe it, but he explained what happened. He actually killed the Green Goblin, and then he killed Spider-Man, so he basically ripped up his Spider-Man suit and became kind of like a Green Goblin. Like, I'm not sure whether he's a bad guy, but he just dressed differently. But I don't know about you guys, but do you not think Spider-Man's haircut kind of looks like Doc Ock? Even a little bit, it kind of does. But anyway, moving on. Pretty much we have the Rhino and Scott. Well, it's not actually Rhino and Scorpion, it's kind of Werner's like animal creatures that look like Scorpion and Rhino. And I think that's really interesting that they use like them villain like characteristics and stuff like that to show this through that. And Peter actually thinks that Gwen has died again. He's reliving the worst moment of his life, but he actually tries becoming a better man than what he was supposed to be, and ends up just getting captured absolutely instantly. And it's actually quite funny. Werner basically just grabs him as he goes past and he's caught. And surprisingly, I didn't actually think this was going to happen, but I think it's really interesting that it did. He actually dies. What the heck? Like, I did not expect this to happen, but I suppose he can probably die happy now. He can die without the everlasting guilt of Gwen Stacy's death on his shoulders. But he does actually know that he tried to save her, or in other words, she saved him. And I thought that was just so emotional. It was such an impact in this like comic. But Gwen actually turns around to Werner and says, "You're next." And I think maybe this is going to develop in the future Amazing Spider-Man comics in the Spider-Verse. Maybe Spider-Gwen is going to avenge this Peter Parker's death or something like that. But I thought that was really interesting. I kind of wish we saw that Peter Parker return to being Spider-Man. I thought that would have been really interesting. But yeah, so overall, I thought the art in this comic was absolutely fantastic. I thought that I liked the classic look in the first half of Miles Morales and Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man. I thought that was really interesting, especially the art in the action panels and stuff. That was awesome. And also the Spider-Gwen scene, it kind of just looked like a regular Spider-Man comic, but it had a bit of its own artistic characteristic to it, and I thought that was really interesting. I thought the story was fantastic, and I thought the humour in the 60s part of the comic was fantastic as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about that. But I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10. I thought it was brilliant, as I've just said. But guys, make sure you go to my Facebook page, because I did actually preview a few pages of this comic before it released. So, and that was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. So make sure you head on over there for future previews. And of course, don't forget to hit the like button on this video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you go to my Twitter and follow me on there. All the links will be in the description. And last but not least, guys, I will see you in my next video.